Okay, so lastly, we need to come up with all of our values that we need in order to decide if we are rejecting or fail to reject. I know I have it incorrect in the wording here. Rejecting or failing to reject our null hypothesis. So degrees of freedom, remember our degrees of freedom come from the number of outcomes that we have minus 1. So in cards, we have hearts, diamonds, spades, and clubs. So that means we have 4 different outcomes. So to get our degrees of freedom, we are going to take 4 minus 1, and that gives us 3. The p-value that we will use, we always use a p-value of 0.05. So p-value is the decimal point that you are going to look at on our chi-squared table. Our chi-squared value we said was 2.48. And our critical value, so chi-squared value is what we calculated on the last one. Our critical value is going to be the number. So on our table, we'll go to our degrees of freedom. We'll line it up with our p-value. And so 0.05 at 3 gives us a critical value of 7.82. So then to decide if we are failing to reject or rejecting our null hypothesis, we need to compare our chi-squared value, 2.48, to our critical value, which is 7.82. So what we are going to look at is which one is bigger. So 2.48 versus 7.82. So 7.82 is bigger than our chi-squared value. So if our critical value is bigger than our chi-squared value, that means we are going to fail to reject our null hypothesis. Which means basically that our card dealing machine is dealing them fairly and randomly. If 2.8 or if our chi-squared value was larger than our critical value, we would reject the null hypothesis, and then that would mean that there's something fishy with our dealing machine. But basically, we fail to reject, and the reason we do that is over here because our chi-squared value is less than our critical value.